Jain, dear student of class 10th. Dear students, today you may have some sounds just because of rain. It is being rain here from morning. Okay, so maybe there are some sounds, but you must avoid all the sounds. You must listen the lessons note only. Okay, so my dear students, let's get started. The second unit of chapter number 6. First unit we have previously covered, that was a poem, and second unit in this we have just inverse the units. First becomes second and second becomes the first, right? Firstly we have covered the poem, but secondly today we are going to start the poem that start the story, that is the 100 dresses second. In previous chapter we have covered that Wanda was chosen as a winner from girl side, and everyone was gathered here, right? So my dear students, let's get started from the lesson there. While the class was circling the room, the monitor from the principal's office brought Miss Mason a note. Miss Mason read it several times and studied it thoughtfully for a while. Then she clapped her hands. Attention class, everyone back to their seat. When shuffling of feet had stopped and the room was still and quiet, Miss Mason said, I have a letter from Wanda's father that I want to read you. Miss Mason stood there a moment and the silence in the room grew tense and expectant. The teacher adjusted her glasses slowly and deliberately. Her manner indicated that what was coming. This letter from Wanda's father was a matter of great importance. Everybody listened closely at Miss Mason read the brief. Means when everyone was assembled uh, 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 around the principal's office and inside the hall, at the same time the monitor from the principal's office brought Miss Mason's a note, and after having a glance over that, Miss Mason started thoughtfully, and she clapped and she makes a silence. She ordered to be silent there, and when everyone becomes silent for a moment, she was still, and there was a silence inside the classroom. And after adjustment is the glass, what she said, that everybody has to listen this very carefully. What was this brief note? Dear teacher, my Wanda will not come to your school anymore. Jack also. Now we move away to big city. No more holler Polak. No more ask why funny name. Plenty of funny names in the big cities. Your truly, Jan Petronsky. So, dear students, this was a letter from Wanda's father, and what he has suggested, that what he has written in that letter, it was an information that he was moving along with his family to the big cities where they are having no one will ask about a funny name, right? Because there were a number of funny names inside the big cities. A deep silence made the reading of this letter. Miss Mason took off her glasses, blew on them, and wiped them on her soft white handkerchief. Then she put them again and looked at the class. When she spoke, her voice in a very low voice. I am sure that none of a boy and girls room 13 would purposely and deliberately hurt anyone's feeling because his or her name happened to be long, unfamiliar one. I prefer to think that what was said in thoughtlessness. I know that all of you feel a way I do, that this is a very unfortunate thing to have happen, unfortunate and sad both, and I want you all to think about it. The first period was a study period. Mary tried to prepare her lessons, but she could not put her mind on her work. She had a very sick feeling in the bottom of her stomach. True, she had not enjoyed listening to Peggy ask Wanda how many dresses she had in her closet, but she had said nothing. She had stood by silently, and that was just as bad as Peggy had done was. She was coward. At least Peggy had not considered they were being mean, but she, Maddie, had thought they were doing wrong. She could put herself in Wanda's shoes. So, after reading this letter, what Miss Mason said, after a long silence of Miss Mason, she cleared her glasses and through from her handkerchief, and then after putting them against her nose, She spoke in a very low voice that no one in room number 13 do anything without purpose. But what they will do, that must be a purpose. But I think that what had been happened in room number 13, that was thoughtlessness, right? And now Miss Mason said that she felt as they also, means she felt in the same way as they were feeling, right? And after that, the first period was a study period, but Maddie was not able to concentrate over, because she was thinking that if Peggy has done something wrong, then she is also, because she has not made a single comment, but she was silently stand by. That means she was also done a worse job. She was a coward. At least Peggy hadn't considered they were being mean. But now this time she could put herself in Wanda's shoes. That means she was thinking herself as very diminished before Wanda. So goodness, was not there anything she could do? If only she could tell Wanda she hadn't meant to hurt her feelings. She turned around and stole a glance at Peggy, but Peggy did not look up. She seemed to be studying hard. Well, whether Peggy felt badly or not, Maddie, had to do something. She had to find Wanda Petronsky. Maybe she had not yet moved away. Maybe Peggy would climb the heights with her, and they would tell Wanda she had owned the context, that they thought she was smart and the 100 dresses were beautiful. When the goodness, was not there anything she could do? That means she was thinking what she could do. If only she could tell Wanda that she hadn't mean to her. That means all the times of now, Maddie was thinking about Wanda Petronsky, that she was not meaning like this. She didn't want to hurt, but at the same time, she just have a look over Peggy, and Peggy was concentrated in her books. That means it was looking that she was studying very very hard, right? But Maddie was not able to concentrate over this. She was thinking over Wanda Petronsky, that she has to meet her, and she has to tell her that she is the winner, and his all her dresses were very beautiful, right? When school was dismissed in the afternoon, Peggy said with pretended casualness, "Hey, let's go and see if the kids has left town or not." So Peggy had the same idea. Maddie glowed. Peg was really all right. The two girls hurried out of the bundling up the street towards Booking Heights. The part of the town The two girls hurried out of the building up street towards Booking Heights, the part of town that were such a forbidding air on this kind of a November afternoon, drizzly, damp, and dismal. Right. When school was dismissed and afternoon, Peggy said with pretended casualness, that means she was showing pretension, and said, "Let's go to see the kids. Either he have left the town or not." And so Peggy had the same idea. Maddie glowed, right? And Peg was really all right. Now the two girls hurried out of the bundling up and street towards Bogging Heights, and that was a part of town that was such a forbidding air. Means there was a air on this kind of November afternoon that was wet and sad, and they were very very hopeless, right? Well, at least, said Peggy gruffly, "I never did call her a foreigner or make fun of her name. I never thought she had the sense to know we were making fun of her anyway. I thought she was too dumb, and gee, look how she can draw." Maddie could say nothing. All she hoped was that they would find Wanda. She wanted to tell her that they were sorry they had picked on her, and how wonderful the whole school thought she was, and please not to move away, and everybody would be nice. She and Peggy would fight anybody who was not nice. The two girls hurried on. They hoped to get the top of the hill before dark. And now Peggy said with gruffly that at least I have never called. Means she was regretting that she was never made any compliment over her name, or she has not make any kind of comment over her name, and she did not want to make her hurt, right? She was looking like very dumb, that's why. And now how she can draw, right? So how can she so such a stupid? This was a thought of Peggy. But Maggie was all listening, nothing. Peggy was saying everything, but Maddie was unable to understand. Maggie was unable to listen anything because she was lost in the thoughts of Wanda. She wanted to tell that they both were sorry, and the whole soul what the school students were thinking about Wanda, and they will make request not to leave that place, and those both of them were willing to arrive at the top before dark, right? I think that's where the Petronskis lives, said Maddie, pointing to a little house. Wisps of old grass stuck off there here and there along the pathway like thin kittens. Those the houses and its sparse little yard looked shabby but clean. It remained Maddie of Wanda's one dress, her faded blue cotton dress, shabby but clean. Now, Maddie said, after pointing out towards a white house, that maybe this belongs to the Petronskis. And what was there? What was the outlook of that? It was old grass stuck up there, here and there, along the pathway like thin kittens. And the house and its sparse yards looked very shabby, but it was very clean. And here it reminded Maddie's of Wanda's once dress, that it is a blue cotton dress. It was very shabby, but clean also. There was not a sign of life about the house. Peggy knocked firmly on the door, but there was no answer. She and Maddie went around to the backyard and knocked there. Still, there was no answer. There was no doubt about it, the Petronskis were gone. How could they ever make amends? They turned slowly and made their way back down the hill. Well, anyway, said Peggy, she has gone now, so what can we do? Besides, when I was asking her about all her dresses, she probably was getting good ideas for her drawings. She might not even have won the contest otherwise. When both of the girls approached towards the house, then there was no sign of the lives. They take a round about the houses at every corner they have visited, but there was no one. That means there was it was no doubt that there was no one there, right? And the Petronskis was gone. So how could they show that one is sorry by doing something good? That means they were very sorry, but they don't. There was no one to whom they can say they are sorry, right? That's why they were coming back towards home slowly. And now Peggy said, then everyone has gone. So how can what we can do? We can. When I was asking all about her dresses, she probably was getting good ideas for her drawings. She always explained about her drawings. She might not even have won the contest otherwise, right? Maddie turned this idea carefully over in her head, for if there were anything in it, she would not have felt so badly. But that night she could not go to sleep. She thought about Wanda and her faded blue dress and the little house she had lived in, and she thought of glowing picture those 100 dresses made, all lined up in the classroom. At last, Maddie sat up in bed and pressed her forehead tight in hands and really thought. This was the hardest thinking she had ever done. After a long time, she reached an important conclusion. Maddie turned his idea carefully over in her head, means all over things that was running inside his mind, right? For if there were anything in it, she would not have to feel so badly. She was feeling very badly at that night. She was unable to sleep because every thought related to Wanda, about her blue dress, about her house, that was running in her mind, and those were coming like a picture, right? So she was thinking about the 100 dresses, those were all lined up in the classrooms. And after being troubled, after facing a number of trouble, after being overloaded by the number of thoughts, Maddie just got up and sat over the bed, and after a long time she reached over the conclusion. What was that? She was never going to stand by and say nothing again. If she ever heard anybody picking on someone because they are funny looking or because they have strange names, she would speak up. Even if it meant losing Peggy's friendship, she had no way of making things right with Wanda. But from now on, she would never make anybody else unhappy again. Now, after that time, She was never going to be stand and say nothing again. Then after that means after this time she will nothing speak. She will not say anything. If she ever heard anybody is making comment over someone about his peculiar look or about the funny look, about the funny names or the strange names, then she would speak. She would not tolerate it, even if it may be cost of losing the Peggy's friendship. So she had no way of making things right with Wanda, but now she would never make anybody else unhappy again. If someone is treating someone else badly, unfairly, someone is criticizing another one, then definitely she will be the part, and she will just cannot tolerate it, right? On Saturday, Maddie spent the afternoon with Peggy. They were writing a letter to Wanda Petronsky. It was just a friendly letter telling about the contest and telling Wanda she had won. They told her how pretty her drawings were, and they asked her if she liked where she was living and if she liked her new teacher. They had meant to say they were sorry, but it ended up with their just writing a friendly letter. The kind they would have written to any good friend, and they signed it with lots of X for love. They mailed the letter to Bogging Heights, writing please forward on the envelope. Days passed and there was no answer, but letter did not come back. So maybe Wanda had received it. Perhaps she was so hurt and angry she was not going to answer. You could not blame her. Weeks went by and still Wanda did not answer. Peggy had begun to forget the whole business, and Maddie put herself to sleep at night making speeches about Wanda, defending her from great crowds of girls who were trying to tease her with how many dresses you have got. And before Wanda could press her lips together in tight line, the way she did before answering, Maddie would cry out, "Stop!" Then everybody would feel ashamed the way she used to feel. Now it was Christmas time and there was snow on the ground. Christmas bells and small trees decorated the classroom on the last day of the school. Before the holidays, the teacher shows the class a letter she had received that morning. So, when on Saturday, when Maddie spent all the afternoon with Peggy, and they were writing a letter to Wanda Petronsky. That was a friendly letter in which they were sharing their thoughts and thoughts related to that. Means they mean to be sorry, they mean to say sorry, they wanted to say sorry. That's why their letter just ended up writing with a friendly letter, and they have written to any good friend. They signed it with lots of X for love. They have shown their expression, they have shown their sympathy, they have shown their emotions, feelings to Wanda. And after addressing to the Bogging Heights, writing there was written on the envelope, please forward on the envelope, right? Please forward. And it was a number of days has been passed, but there was no reply from Wanda's side, and they were thinking that there is no need to blame Wanda Petronsky that she has not given reply of the letters, because the whole responsibility was on the shoulder of Maddie and Peggy. So weeks went by and they were forgetting all the things. Peggy had begun to forget the whole business, but Maddie was something else. What Maddie was putting herself to sleep at night, and she was making speeches. And those who were trying to tease Wanda in her dreams, then he speaks, then he cries out, just stop, and then everybody would feel the same, and that way they used to feel. Now it was the time of Christmas when there was snow on the ground. Christmas bells and a small tree decorated the classroom, and on the last day before the holidays, the teacher shows the class a letter she has received that morning. What that letter contains? That letter says, "You remember Wanda Petronsky, the gifted little artist who won the drawing contest? Well, she has written me and I am glad to know where she lives, because now I can send her medal. I want to read her letter to you." The class sat up with a sudden interest and listened intently. "Dear Miss Mason, how are you? And room 13. Please tell the girls they can keep those 100 dresses, because in my new house I have 100 new ones all lined up in my closet. I would like that girl Peggy to have the drawings of green dress with the red trimming, and her friend Maddie to have the blue one. For Christmas I miss that school, and my new teachers doesn't equalize with you. Merry Christmas to you and everybody. Yours truly, Wanda Petronsky. So, on the day of Christmas, Miss Mason has made us aware about Wanda Petronsky. That was the girl, the gifted little artist who has won the drawing contest from girl side. And she has, Miss Mason has introduced that this letter is written to him and now written to her, and now she is aware where Wanda lives, because after her address she can easily send her medal to her, right? And then she announced that she is going to write the letter, and all the class sat up with a sudden interest. And what was the letter contains? Dear Miss Mason, there was an inquiry about Miss Mason and room number 13, and she again says that she is because in my new house I have 100 new ones. Now what she says that those 100 dresses can keep anyone, because in her new house she is another pair of 100, she is another 100 new ones dresses has been made, right? And those all will also lined up in a closet. And what he further added about Peggy and Maddie, that they were the responsible one. And for what Christmas I missed that school, she was also missing that school. And she was also making a statement that new teacher is not equalized to Miss Mason. And what she addresses you truly, Wanda Petronsky. On the way home from school, Maddie and Peggy held their drawings very carefully. All the houses had wreaths and holly in the windows. Outside the grocery store, hundreds of the Christmas trees were stacked, and in the window, candy, peppermint sticks, and cornucopias of shiny, transparent paper were stringed. The air smelled like Christmas, and the light shining everywhere reflected different colors of the snow. Boy, said Peggy, this shows she really likes us. It shows she got our letter, and this is her way of saying that everything's alright, and that's that. I hope so, said Maddie sadly. She felt sad because she knew she would never see the little tip-lipped Polish girl again, and couldn't ever really make things right between them. She went home and she pinned her drawings over a torn place and pink flowered wallpaper in the bedroom. The shabby room came alive from the brilliancy of the colors. Maddie sat down on her bed and looked at the drawings. She had stood by and said nothing, but Wanda had been nice to her anyway. When they were coming back from school to her home, Maddie and Peggy were held their drawings very carefully. All the houses along with the roads were very even decorated, right? 100 of Christmas trees were stacked in the windows, candy, peppermint sticks, and the cornucopias of shiny transparent paper were strung. Means the whole thing were looking very decorative, right? The air smelled like a Christmas, and the light shining everywhere reflected in different colors of the snow. So what Peggy said, boy, this shows that she really likes us, and it shows she got our letter, and this is her way of saying that everything all right, and that's that, right? So Maddie said, maybe, I hope so. And she was sad. Why she was sad? Because she will never be able to see that police girl again, and she could not even make the things right between them. Means everything will be improper. And she went home and she pinned her drawings over her. That was a very fantastic thing in the pink flowered wallpaper in the bedroom. The shabby room came alive from the brilliancy of the colors. Maddie sat down her bed and looked about the drawings, and she had stood by and said nothing, but Wanda had been nice to her anyway. Everything that she was feeling about Wanda, that was related to Wanda. Now she was very sad because of her deed, because of her things that she had made wrong, right? Tears blurred her eyes and she gazed for a long time at the picture. Then hastily she rubbed her eyes and studied it intently. The colors in the dress were so vivid that she scarcely noticed the face and head of the drawing, but it looked like her Maddie. It really looked like her own mouth. Why, it really looked like her own self. Wanda had really drawn this for her. Excitedly, she ran over to Peg, she said, let me see your picture. What's the matter? Asked Peggy. As they chattered up her room where Wanda's drawing was lying face down on bed, Maddie carefully raised it. Look, she drew you. That's you, she exclaimed. And the head and face this picture look like you, Peggy. What did I say? Said Peggy. She must have really liked us. Anyway, yes, she must have, agreed Maddie, and she blinked away the tears that came every time she thought of Wanda standing alone in the sunny spot in the schoolyard, looking stolidly over at the group of laughing girls after she had walked off and after she had said, "Sure, 100 of them all lined up." So, my dear students, now the story comes at the last. When Maddie saw the pictures carefully, it was her picture also. It was her picture. So, that means Wanda has drawn Maddie's picture, and after having a vivid look, what she have seen, she excitedly ran to Peggy house. That when she was aware that this was her picture, she excitedly ran over Peggy's house and said, "Peg, see, let me see your picture." And when Peggy asked as they clattered up the room where Wanda's drawing was lying face down on bed, so it was the picture of Peggy. Now Peggy said, "What did I say? She was really, she must really like us. Means she must have like us. Definitely, Wanda was a girl that that she likes both of them. Both of them she liked us. That's why she had painted their drawings. And now they realized that which kind of mistakes they had done. They both were apologies, and yes, she must have agreed Maddie, and she blinked away the tears those were crying, those girls were crying. And for what? For their deed that they had committed, right? And she thought of Wanda standing alone, looking solitary over the stood up group after she had walked off. And from that time onwards, those of the girls become very grave, and those were very sincere. Now after this time, when they both of them accepted that the all the 100 races are all lined up. So my dear students, here you can see, or you can say, after reading this story from both of the sections, you have learnt that we must not misunderstand anything or anyone. Sometimes we just reach over a judgment over someone after just having a look over the appearance. No, what matters the internal beauty, not the physical beauty. Your physical beauty is just even you can say the illusion. It's not reality. Your physical beauty is not just a reality, but your internal beauty is what you are. Exactly what you are is your internal beauty. You will not count it by your physical beauty that you are so beautiful, you are so handsome, nothing else. No, what counts that which kind of person you are, or how many persons are happy with you, or how you are the responsible for the happiness of a number of people, that counts. So my dear students, we always try to make friends. We always try to make friends. We don't even try to make enemies. Sometimes we just make some statements over someone just in the absence of anyone. This is the human nature. Accidentally, this is the human nature, right? Why I'm saying accidentally? Because it's not a part of every individual, right? It's a part of some kind of some wrong person who always just spread out the illusion, spread out the something that is very wrong, right? So we must think that every individuals are similar to us. If such kind of thoughts will generated in you, such kind of thought will arise within you, then definitely you must be sure that you will be the real individual. Otherwise, if you are thinking that you are the most valuable person in that, or if you are seeking something specialty from someone else, then definitely you will not be succeeded, and it will not be counted as the human act. So my dear students, the lesson has been finished, and you will have to revise all the things very well. Further, if you are getting any kind of issue, then you are free to ask, and from tomorrow onwards chapter number 7 will be started. Up to the time, thank you, have a nice day, Jai Hind.